president of the Canadian Amateur Hockey Association, and Jack, being from Belleville, I would think that a lot of people in your hometown are enjoying this game every bit as much as the people in Vancouver.
Well, they sure are, Bill. With Bobby Hull coming through with 3 first-period goals, I'm sure they're all pretty elated.
It's a pretty remarkable first period. I thought that while Hull was the scoring star of the period, that Gordie Howe really turned the period around when he came out hitting on that first or second shift.
He doesn't look like a 46-year-old man out there this afternoon.
Jack, about the CAHA itself, you've got a big series coming up with the juniors, and the junior hockey's always been exciting, and it could match this in terms of excitement.
Well, I think one of the most exciting tournaments ever to be held in Canada will be in Winnipeg from December 26th till January 5th, when we have the CCM Invitational Junior International Tournament with teams from the Soviet, Czechoslovakia, Finland, Sweden, the United States, and Canada. Canada will be represented by the Western Canada Hockey League All-Stars. Be just a tremendous series.
Okay, tell us a little more about the series in terms of how it was brought together by the CAHA.
Well, we went to Leningrad last Christmas with the Peterborough Peaks. They represented Canada. And it was just such an outstanding tournament. Going down to the final day, the 15th day of the tournament, if Peterborough had won, they'd have won it all. If they'd have tied, they'd have finished second, and losing, they finished third. That's just how exciting and how close it was. And we were interested. We thought the Canadian fans would like to see something like that, and we talked to the people, and they're coming here this winter.
Well, if the CAHA has a mandate in Canada, it's to bring international hockey back to this country, and I think you've certainly done that in fine style.
Well, we're working on it, Bill. We're working on it.
Jack, I know you're looking forward to the second period. Do you think that the Canadian team can maintain that pace?
I think so. I think so. They're going great today.
Okay, we're looking forward to it, and as you can see, so are the fans here at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. So let's go upstairs to Dodge Chevrolet.
Thank you, Bill. And as Howie said, you can't really fault Vladislav Tretiak for the 5 goals that got by him. Brilliant shots from brilliant, experienced hockey players. 5 of them, given Canada a 5-2 lead. Bobby Hull got the hat trick in the opening period. Gordie Howe and Frank Mahavlich added the singles. The Soviet Union has outshot Canada 12-11 in the opening period, but that's small consolation for Soviet coach Boris Kulagin. The only emotion he really displayed during the entire series was a bit of a chewing out he gave his players when Team Canada began to come back from that huge deficit Saturday afternoon in Winnipeg. He was quite animated and quite flushed at that time and angered. Now, he looks like a very concerned man, understandably. The man he can thank for that feeling is number 16, Bobby Hull, with just a superb opening period performance against the national champions of the USSR, the world amateur champions, and the reigning Olympic hockey champions. And Bobby Hull now has scored 6 goals in the series. He has 2 assists for a total of 8 points, and of course, has those 3 picture goals tonight at the Pacific Coliseum here in Vancouver. To begin the third period, Andre Lacroix will have Hull on his left and McKenzie on his right. Petrov for the USSR with Mihailov on the right wing, Harlamov on the left wing. Gusev plays it ahead to Petrov as we begin the second period. Mihailov trying to lead pass for Harlamov, broken up. Gets it again to Petrov. Play it back to Gusev, Mihailov, Harlamov. Inside the blue line, off the left board. Left for Gusev. His shot deflected. Cheevers just saw that in time. Lacroix comes out to break it up and send Team Canada back. Too far for McKenzie, just over his stick. Into the corner. Bobby Hull has it. No icing on the play. Mihailov on the boards. Gets it out to Gusev. Now Harlamov. Being watched by Howe. Marty Howe, and now J.C. Tremblay, his defense partner, takes over. In the early seconds of period 2, Bobby Hull, Lacroix. Lacroix against Vasiliev could not hang on to it. Now Petrov is bumped and sent flying by Bobby Hull as the Russians break out of their zone. Over the Team Canada line, Mihailov with Harlamov in front. Off Cheever's stick, way out of his goal. Way out almost to the blue line. He backhands it the length of the ice. Now Gusev to Vasiliev. He is one of the 2 Soviet goals. Long shot. Handled easily by Cheevers to Frank Mahavlich. Mahavlich into the slot for Rejan Houle, and now up to Serge Bernier. At the Soviet line. Bernier got turned around by number 5, Yuri Lyapkin. Stapleton for Mahavlich. Did not control it at the blue line, watching for an offside. Shadrin, he's checked by Mahavlich. Yakushev carries on. Pumped by Bernier, the puck goes to Pat Stapleton. Now Frank Mahavlich against Lyapkin. Drop pass for Hull. Oh, and a save off the pads of Tretiak. Back come the Soviets at center. Lebedev swings inside the line. Knocked off balance. Lee beats Bernier. Now Mahavlich left side. Too far for him. At the center ice for number 11, Lebedev. Back checking by Bernier. Clubs Bernier as they go down the boards. No penalty on the play. Lee bumped there. Sagantoff against Bernier. And Bernier is getting a lot of the physical action right now early in period 2. Both teams begin to change on the go. Backstrom's out there now. This is Lyapkin at the Team Canada line. Off to the right boards. Number 15, the great Alexander Yakushev, being watched in there by Ralph Backstrom. Out to Yakushev, whose quick shot is handled off the net by Jerry Cheevers.
Here's what Team Canada's doing so well. Look at Bernier take Yakushev off the puck and keep himself between them and the net. This is the whole key to playing the Russian hockey game.
From the face-off, a shot directly on Jerry Cheevers from the point. Kuznetsov over to Luchenko. Loose in front. Picked up finally by Backstrom, ahead to number 11, Howe. Down the left side, a shot goes around behind. Gordie Howe on the right boards with it now. Play goes out of Soviet skate. Here's a break for the Soviets. Maltsev in the clear. Checks, drops it back, and it was wide of the goal from Bodanov. End-to-end action now. Bodanov, number 24. Back to number 3, Luchenko. Bodanov again. Center ice, and Eason playing without a helmet now, and Eason getting set. His shot deflected wide by Paul Schmier. Battled around the backboards by Cheevers. Out come the Canadians with Ralph Backstrom. Backstrom and Howe. Check. Backstrom closing in. Batted away finally, and the Soviets come back. Tremendous action here. Over the blue line. Around the check goes Bodanov. Maltsev fell. The puck comes back to center ice. Delayed penalty to the Canadians coming up here. Number 12, Kuznetsov with it. Tretiak out of the goal. Kuznetsov was clotheslined by Rick Smith, but there's going to be a Canadian penalty. With the score, Canada 5 and the Soviets 2. This is Game 4 from Vancouver.
K-Tel presents the Irish Rover Special. 20 super hits specially selected from their TV show.
Come in, we'll do the best we can. And their hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet between alligators and long-necked geese.
Truly international stars, the Irish Rovers bring the warmth of the Irish into your home. Get the Irish Rover Special, $4.99. Pay for cassette, $6.99.
Number 18, Paul Schmier, has drawn a roughing penalty at the 4:08 mark of the second period. So the Soviet power play is on the ice now, centered by Petrov, Harlamov, Mihailov. Vasilyev on the right point. On the left side is Gusev. And now broken up by number 12, Pat Stapleton. At the Soviet blue line. Gets away from the check from Petrov. Being watched there by Gusev in the corner. Finally gives it up to number 2, Gusev. For Harlamov. Soviets breaking back now. Right side, Harlamov. Being watched by McGregor, did a great job. Took him right off that puck. And it's cleared down the ice and over the boards for a face-off.
Well, McGregor certainly did come back. I was very, very surprised to see him go stride for stride and even gain on Harlamov. That Harlamov can fly, and he did finish the check.
Howie, can you believe a team with an average age of 30, a player as old as 46, can skate as well as this team's skating?
It's very, very hard to believe. They just performed so well when they had to.
From the point, that rolling shot was stopped by number 3, J.C. Tremblay. The Soviets must wait now to get onside as Tremblay moves it out. in the penalty. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining for Paul Schmier's roughing sentence as Canada shoots it down the ice to Tretiak. Number 2, Alexander Gusev. Across to Petrov. Right side with Mihailov inside the line, and Harlamo feeds it back for Gusev. His shot is blocked by Cheevers. He was screened, but he got a piece of a puck. Vasiliev now winding up. That was blocked. Again, Jerry Cheevers. Still inside that Canadian zone. Pushing around the Canadian goal. A shot by Gusev is blocked by the defense. Stapleton goes into the corner after it. It is picked up finally and shot down the ice by Bruce McGregor. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Pass off the stick of Gusev. Played back to Stapleton now by J.C. Tremblay. Tremblay killing time, backing up, swings away from Alexander Yakushev and feeds Ralph Backstrom. And Backstrom will go back and kill more time. Only 18 seconds left now in the penalty. Stapleton lobs it down the ice on Tretiak. Now only 10 seconds remain in the Canadian penalty. Soviets disorganized with the power play. Mark Howe along the boards wins the puck from Vasiliev. Hangs on to it. Now Tremblay, the penalty is over. The Canadians have killed the time. The pass down the ice too far for Schmier. With the penalty expired, they're called for icing. But what a great job, Howie, of killing it off.
That young Howe is something else again. He's just so cool under fire. He outfought 3 Russians for the puck over in the blue line. But I think I've noticed a change in the Russian power play. So many times Canadians have said, why don't they shoot the puck when they get it to the point? Obviously, we've taken away center ice. We're bunching closer together. And Gusev and Vasiliev had 5 or 6 shots there, and Cheevers really had to be good, but our fellows were cleaning house in front of the net to give them a chance to see it.
They scored 3 in this series from that point. Now a quick shot on goal from Shadrin was handled. Paul Schmier on the ice. Works the right side. Swings away from Shadrin. Center ice pass for Bobby Hull. Over offside as Lacroix was tied up as he crossed the blue line just by a step. Andre Lacroix. He is the second leading scorer in this series with 6 points. He set up 5 goals, and he scored 1 himself. Lacroix with McKenzie and Bobby Hull. Shadrin has it for the Soviets. Across to Lebedev. Hull breaks that up. Gives the puck to Paul Schmier, number 18. Out for Lyapkin. Lyapkin leaves it there at the Canadian line. A good body check by McKenzie on Shadrin, and Paul Schmier takes over in the corner. Around past Lebedev to Bobby Hull, ahead to Andre Lacroix. Here's 2-on-1. McKenzie takes the right side pass. Back to the top, broken up by Lyapkin. 1 defenseman back. He stopped the play. But the Soviets are not pressing like they were in the first half of the first period. Lyapkin ahead for Yakushev. Gave the puck to Bobby Hull. He shoots off the leg of Sagankov, number 7. Lyapkin lost it to Johnny McKenzie. Out to Hull. Screen shot. Bouncer. Tretiak did not see it. Deflected off his chest, wide of the goal. Here's Yakushev. Left side for Lebedev, and Rick Smith pumps it back to center ice. Down the court, Bobby Hull swings over now to his proper wing with Lacroix. McKenzie on the right side for Hull. Broken out by number 10. Maltsev has it. Inside the line, Maltsev shooting. Stopped by Cheevers. The rebound for Smith. Maltsev ties him up. There'll be a face-off with 8 minutes gone in period 2.
That Tretiak was very, very lucky there. The shot hit the defenseman and went up in the air and hit him on the head. He didn't see it, Don.
No idea where it was until he felt it.
Watch that McKenzie finish the check. Time and time again, he takes out the Russian players.
5-2 is the score for Team Canada. All the scoring so far in the opening period. And he's set on the draw. It's back for Kuznetsov. That shot was blocked, and here comes Frank Mahavlich streaking down the left side with Rezhan, who could not get the pass to him. Now Maltsev beats Vodanov on the left side. Reaches the Canadian line. Drop pass for Harlamo. Over to number 10, Maltsev. He could not control the bouncing puck. Here's a break for Bernier with Mahavlich cruising in. Over to Frank Mahavlich, over his stick. Mahavlich centers it out. bounces in front of the Soviet goal, and they clear it on the ice. Fast breaking action both ways here in the second period. Rezhan-Houl, number 5. Kuznetsov, number 12, gets it out, and J.C. Tremblay will chase it down the ice, not far enough for icing. Tumahavlich, batted away by Kuznetsov, but voted off. He was tied up effectively by number 10, Marty Howe. On the boards for Rezhan-Houl and out to center ice. 11 minutes to play in the second period. 5-2, Team Canada in command. Houle to Tremblay. Bernier. Bernier lost the puck there. And it's covered up by Howe, and Bernier has it again. Serge Bernier starting out at the Soviet line. Down the boards around Luchenko. Centers it out off the skate. Tremblay blocked by Luchenko. Back come the Russians. Harlamov to Maltsev. Maltsev turned around. His shot deflected as he went too far. Tremblay lost it there to Harlamov for Maltsev. Being watched by Marty Howe. Now Bernier has it bounce off him to J.C. Tremblay. Back down the ice it goes. This will not be far enough for icing. The puck dies before the red line. Vasiliev to Valery Harlamov. Against Stapleton. One move too many. Lost the puck. They clear to center ice with now 10 minutes to play in the second period. 5-2 for Canada. Petrov's fast behind the high lock. The Soviet offense disorganized now as Ralph Backstrom breaks across the line. Shooting! High drive. Caught by the glove hand of Tretchev. Warm tonight on the Pacific Coliseum. Warm outside in Vancouver, too, reaching nearly 80 degrees again today. Beautiful sunny weather on Canada's west coast. Right now, the heat is on the Soviet Union. Mihailov off Backstrom's stick, gets it over on the left side for Harlamov. Back to Mihailov. He's a veteran of several World Championship Soviet teams. Vasiliev, number 6, with it now, and finally, play his whistle down for an offside.
Here's just a great play here. Watch Mahavlich outskate the Russian player. Look at that. The Russian player had 2 steps on him, and Bernier put the puck right out in front of him, just hopped over his stick. Great sign.
Ralph Backstrom, who turned 37 last week. The legs of the 17-year-old will handle the face-off against number 19, Vladimir Shadrin. Back it comes to Pat Stapleton. Ricky Lee, away from number 15, Yakushev. Finally at the blue line, the Soviets are forced back into their zone. Sagankov, as Yakushev is checked by Gordie Howe and then bumped by Lebedev. The Soviets break inside the line. Shadrin got bumped off the puck. Lead pass for Gordie Howe against Lyapkin, and then Lyapkin got his stick on it just in time. Here is Yakushev. Shooting, score! And it's 5-3, and Alexander Yakushev, number 15, is now 12 goals the last 12 games against Canada.
The big fella can really shoot him. I think when it comes down to the final point when we asked somebody, watch this, it had to be tipped. Yes, it just hit a shin pad there, changed direction, and got by Cheevers.
With the score, Canada 5 and the Soviets 3. This is game 4 from Vancouver.
Это банк, где люди составляют разницу.
Yakushev makes it 5-3 at 11:04 from Yuri Lebedev. Off the face-off. Here is Anison at the line, right side, getting away from Schmier. He goes off a body back to center ice. Kuznetsov. Pass deflected on the boards to Bruce McGregor. That Soviet goal, the only scoring play so far in the second period, a 5-3 game for the Canadians. Anisin to Lutchenko. Back to Anisin. Away from Henderson. The pass to Maltsev. Cheevers will come out and smother it. There'll be no further play. Several large banners here in Vancouver depicting the famous chant and cheer of the 72 series. Niet, Niet Soviet, Da Da Canada. Face-off, Anisin. Finally cleared by number 17, Smith, down the ice. The Canadians will be called for icing. We have 8 minutes and 12 seconds of second period playing time remaining. 5-3 for Team Canada 74. And after the second period, we'll be talking with Jim Pattison of the Vancouver Blazers about the WHA's new 5-team Canadian division this coming season. Inside the Russian zone, Henderson's taken down. No penalty called on the play as the fans boo. Mihailov, number 13, to Harlamov. Circling, left the puck there for Mihailov. Down went McGregor against Harlamov. Petrov trying to center it. Does. Loose in front. Oh, and the shot by Mihailov went wide. Smear right in front of his goal. Steers it out to center ice. Soviets now begin to press again. Getting a lift from that third goal moments ago by Yakushev. Petrov inside the line. A pass behind Harlamov. Swept down the boards by Vasiliev to Mike Walton. To Bruce McGregor. McGregor now works ahead at center ice. Can't reach Walton with a pass. Number 2, Alexander Gusev had it. Played it down the ice for the Soviet team. Just over 7 minutes to play in period 2. Right side break now for Johnny McKenzie. Steps inside the line against Gusev. Could not control the bouncing puck. And it's ahead at center for Petrov. Harlamov gets a shot. Wide. On the boards is Vladimir Petrov. Valery Harlamov right in front. Cheevers lost it. Rebound over top of the goal. Mihailov out to the point. Trapped there by Gusev. His drive blocked by McKenzie. Here comes Mike Walton. Walton. Oh, and a great save. And a long pass by number 2, Alexander Gusev. Petrov against Rick Smith in the corner. Paul Schmier bats it off the boards and down the ice. Whistle is gone. Some stick swinging now from Petrov and from Rick Smith, but the officials move in to separate them. We continue to win face-offs, this Canadian team, with 30 of 43 won so far tonight.
Don, we've really stopped checking, and we're going for that goal number 6 at the expense of the defense. We're continually getting 3 fellas caught and not coming back quite deep enough in our own end to take the man.
They've given both penalties. Petrov 16 for the Soviets, and number 17 going in now is Rick Smith. The first offsetting penalties of the game with 6:25 to play in the second period. There's Smith. They got sticks up inside the Canadian zone just as that last play was ending.
Team Canada penalty number 17, Rick Smith, 2 minutes for interference.
Interference is the call. 13:35 is the time. Well, they're playing 5 aside now. Bernier on the face-off against Shadrin. Shadrin shoots it to the corner. Marty Howe to J.C. Tremblay, being watched and then checked by Yakushev. Bernier jams in there for it. Along the boards, they whistle the play down. Yakushev has the period's only goal so far at 11:04 that has made the score 5-3 for Team Canada. They led 5-2 after 1 period. Shadrin with Sagankov, Yakushev, and Lyapkin. Bernier, Marty Howe, Frank Mahavlich, and J.C. Tremblay. The shot deflected off the plexiglass to Marty Howe. Howe did not clear. Shadrin got a shot at it. Howe gets a second chance. Finally, it is out to center ice. Sagankov to Yakushev. The big fellow winds up in the center ice area. Across the Canadian line, dropped a pass there. Shadrin was blocked out of the play by Mahavlich. And now J.C. Tremblay feeds Frank Mahavlich. Gives it back to Marty Howe. Down the left boards, Howe jams it inside the Soviet zone. 5:40 left in the period. 5-2 for Canada. Here is Yakushev to Shadrin. Inside the Canadian line, J.C. Tremblay gives it to Serge Bernier, and he goes in behind the goal. Marty Howe, a minute left in those penalties. J.C. Tremblay moves up. Over the Soviet line. Swings around Lutsenko, and then finally it's picked up. Bernier comes back to check. The Soviets move ahead now with Yakushev. Sagankov taken down by Frank Mahavlich. Bernier in trouble against number 5, Lyapkin, who wins the puck. 30 seconds to go on the penalty. Lyapkin across for Maltsev, closing in. Backhand drive, deflected wide of the goal. Forced in behind there. Great chance for the Soviets. Against the boards is Pat Stapleton to Serge Bernier. 10 seconds remaining in those penalties now. Frank Mahavlich with Bernier off his skates against Vasiliev. Looks for some help. Passed it across. Nobody inside the line to take the pass. And it's shot back to Pat Stapleton. The penalties are over now. Here's Rick Smith back on the ice. Inside the Soviet line. His pass intercepted by number 16, Petrov. Petrov to Maltsev. Maltsev across the line, waiting, passes the shot by Petrov, goes wide. 4 minutes to play in period 2. Here comes Ralph Backstrom with Gordie Howe. Backstrom across center ice, at the blue line, closing in! Shot by Tretiak. As Backstrom got too close and Tretiak had the angle cut down. Here is Maltsev. Turned around by Lee, and now Marty Howe comes up with it, or Markow, number 11. Markow at center ice, lobs it inside the line to number 2, Gusev. Vasiliev to Petrov. Back into the corner. Gusev in front of his own goal was hounded by Howe and almost gave it away, but there's nobody there for the ball, the puck. Here's number 12, Stapleton now. Lacroix with him. Hard shot handled by Tretiak. Gusev gets away from Lacroix with a pass to Petrov. Mihailov with him. Dumps it across. Nobody there. Bobby Howe clears it out. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play now in the second period. Vasiliev across to Mihailov. Howe with Lacroix. They break it up. And here's Bobby Howe shooting. Off Tretiak. Hard drive. Just got a piece on the short side. Here's a pass for Harlamov. In the clear, breakaway. Harlamov. Oh! Cheevers came out and forced him off the puck. Still in there. Petrov shot over top. Off the glass, into the crowd. Just a great play by Jerry Cheevers to break up Harlamov, who was home free.
Just look at that pass right up through the center to Harlamov, and in he goes. Cheevers gets the stick out as he goes down. He didn't get the puck, but he got enough of his skate so Harlamov couldn't catch up with it. Just a great pass and a great play. Look at that save again. Harlamov went into the corner and threw it out in front. He certainly has to be sharp.
Canadian penalty coming up here to Ricky Lee. There is some fencing and shoving in front of the goal following that breakaway by Harlamov, and Lee gets the penalty.
Done on the previous play, Frank Mahavlich was hanging around in center ice for the long pass, and he drew the 2 defensemen back so our forward could get it out. And this last play, Harlamov was just back and forth out there. The defense would sneak a look at him. And the one time that the Russians picked up the puck and had a second to get rid of it, they just threw it out there like a bullet. It's pretty close to offside, but just a great play.
Well, the penalties now, that one to Lee came at 17:07 for roughing, makes it 4 penalties to 2 against Canada. The Soviets have had the advantage in manpower in all the games so far in terms of the number of penalties called. Now their power play is on the ice. Centered by number 22, Vyacheslav Venison, against Bruce McGregor, who wins the faceoff. Skates out to the line. It's held in there. Now J.C. Tremblay, as the line fell, they clear it down the ice. An important penalty here, an important power play for the Russians, who, if they score, will be only 1 down. But Henderson there with some great checking takes it away and gives it to Pat Stapleton. It's down the ice for Kuznetsov, and Henderson has the puck inside the blue line. Feeds it all the way back to his own line for J.C. Tremblay. Tremblay to Stapleton. Ahead for Henderson, broken up by Kuznetsov. Here's Anisin with Bodanov. Into the corner. Anisin turns, centers it out, batted away by Henderson for Bruce McGregor. McGregor against Pachinko down the boards. McGregor has the puck, ridden off into the corner. They tie up in there. McGregor still has it, gives it to Paul Henderson. Here's from the point, Pat Stapleton shot, blocked by Tretiak. Mihailov, with less than a minute to go, and the Canadian penalty to Ricky Lee, moves it up with a pass to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov got turned around by Henderson. And Backstrom. Here's Henderson now alone, a long shot off the stick of Tretiak. Stapleton down the left board. Wants to Shadrin. Far side, Mihailov with Bodanov. He was stick checked. Backstrom comes up with it. Gets it ahead to center ice. Now 30 seconds to go on the Canadian penalty. A minute and 20 to play in period 2, and it's 5-3 for Canada. Yakushev. Away from Backstrom. Mihailov's shot is wide. Watched by Stapleton. Backstrom digs it down the ice again. Less than 12 seconds remaining now in the Canadian penalty, as both teams change on the go. Yakushev is checked by Bernier. 5 seconds in the penalty. Liapkin inside the line, stick checked by J.C. Tremblay. He shoots it down the ice. Lee's back on, so icing will be called. But Canada has killed another Soviet power play.
I'm just sitting here, Don, chuckling to myself. Every time there's a race for the puck, I'm body checking and urging the Canadian player to get there first. They're just coming up with another fantastic effort. And McGregor and Henderson certainly killed the penalty extremely well. And the last time on the ice, our club has been down considerably, but Backstrom, Mark Howe, and Gordie Howe showed some spark and turned the tide, and the crowd really appreciated it. Just a great effort by the two veterans and young Mark.
From the face-off, 50 seconds to play in the period. It is cleared to center ice. Rezhan, who battled to the head. Sagankov now for the Soviets to Shadrin into Lebedev. Bodied there by Schmier. Carrying on is number 19. On the boards. Into the corner again goes Shadrin. Good body checking by the Canadians in their own defensive zone now. They were not doing it effectively in the early part of this game, but have come on to hit well. Here's Yakushev off his stick to the short side, wide. Rick Smith backhands it down the ice, touched by a high stick, and they will whistle it down with 25 seconds to play. Boris Kulagin, whose team fell behind by 3 in the opening period, now has narrowed that margin to a 2-goal deficit at 5-3 on the goal by Yakushev from Lebedev at 11:04 of this, the second period. Now 25 seconds remaining. Here's an example of how they're hitting. Schmier on Harlamov. You'll almost finish your opponent by doing that, too. He's played well, Schmier. Smith joins him on the bench now. The face-off. Lacroix lost that one. Wins it the second time around. Held in by the Soviets, and now Bobby Hull has it with 18 seconds to play in the period. Off the glass. Hard drive by Hull. Rolls down the Soviet blue line. Lyapkin, number 5. Lacroix forechecking. Up to Shadrin. Ahead to Lebedev. Bumped by Stapleton. Off the puck. Tremblay takes over. 1 second left, and that is the end of the second period. With the score, Canada 5 and the Soviets 3. This is game 4 from Vancouver.